I bought a RELiON RB5 battery. I bought it to power an RF preamp in this setup. The radio antenna goes to the preamp, amplifies the signal, and it goes down the coax to radio receiver. The draw of the preamp is very small, about 1 watt. So power coming from a RELiON 50 watt panel, that's about 45 centimeters square in size, 18 inches square, going through a Victron charge controller and wired up to the battery as shown. This equipment was situated outside, sheltered. The battery was sheltered from weather, but ultimately was in the open air, so subject to the temperatures and a bit of moisture, I guess, from being outside here in the UK. It lasted for about a year. I didn't use it all the time, so I don't know exactly when it failed, but eventually, regardless of whether the sun was out enough to charge it, it just wasn't working. So I decided to investigate the situation. The voltage reading on the battery was 0, or effectively 0. You'll see it 36 odd millivolts when I measure it here. But that's way below the limits and not a good sign. I attempted to open up or reset the internal BMS using this C-Tech charger, which has this reset function, which applies 14.5 volts across the terminals for a few seconds. That should wake up the BMS and then allow you to go ahead and charge the battery. But this made no difference. When I applied the charge, it wouldn't accept anything at all. So I really wanted to figure out why. So it was time to get serious and throw out the warranty and bring in the hacksaws. So I did my best to carefully open it, and here is the big reveal. So here is the exposed battery, the BMS circuit board on the top, and 8 RELiON 3.2 volt cells, plus a bit of mess from the way I opened it up. You'll notice some strange discoloration on the circuit board. This isn't a good sign, so let's take a close look at that. Now, I'm no electronic engineer, but I would hazard that this circuit board is not going to function as originally intended. There is a severe amount of corrosion and deposits, as you can plainly see. This looks like water damage. Well, where did the water come from? Take a look at the worktop. All those droplets, those blobs of dampness, that's all come from inside the battery, not from anywhere else. Replay carefully when I opened it. There you go. There is quite a bit of moisture inside that case. We can only conclude the battery was constructed in a high ambient temperature with high humidity, and that's trapped moisture inside the case to later condense out. So that's maybe something for manufacturers to be considering, because it does not seem to have been considered in this case. So the battery's dead and gone, and we'll go to the recycling center and I'll buy another one made by somebody else.